And if that wasn't entertaining enough, and it was, but there was still more, because this is Washington, there's always more. Dig your hand a little deeper into the stocking. Another president. Today's was Chuck Schumer, the professional Wall Street shill who lies for a living, going onto the Senate floor and accusing us, this network, and brace yourself here for a hot blast of irony, accusing Fox News of being dishonest. For real, watch.
The president conjures fictions, buys into baseless conspiracy theories told by known liars on Fox News or somewhere else. Here in the Senate, certain members of the grand old party are forming their own conspiracy caucus. Any crazy conspiracy, whether launched by Putin or some wild-eyed, crazy conspiracy theorist who manages, of course, all the time to get on Fox News and have his story or her story repeated.
It's just such a shame that Sigmund Freud has fallen out of favor. They're attacking him on the college campuses as a sexist. We need Sigmund Freud today, because without Freud, it's hard to recognize what's going on. But here it is, distilled to its essence. Write this down, put it on your fridge. It's the best guide to politics, ever. What the left accuses you of doing is precisely what they're doing themselves. They accuse you of fostering racism, pushing conspiracy theories, lying to the American people. Don't start to finish the sentence. Of course, those are the three main things they're doing. And impeachment proves the point once more. The first article of impeachment accuses the president of, quote, abuse of power for, quote, soliciting the interference of a foreign government, Ukraine, in the 2020 United States presidential election, end quote. So just so you understand, House Democrats are arguing here that there was no meddling in American politics when a Ukrainian energy company hired the otherwise unemployable son of a sitting vice president at an exorbitant rate for no work, at the very moment his father was policing, quote, anti-corruption efforts in their country. There's nothing political about that. And if you think otherwise, you believe in a conspiracy theory, a debunked conspiracy theory, a theory so debunked, in fact, that the president committed a literally impeachable offense simply by asking about it. That's right. And you know what else wasn't at all an abuse of power, but really the opposite of an abuse of power? When the last president, President Obama, killed a U.S. citizen without a trial using drone strikes. Not an abuse of power. Are you kidding? That's another debunked conspiracy theory. Or when he had the FBI investigate a rival presidential campaign based on an obviously fraudulent dossier of opposition research written by a foreigner using intel from the Russian government. That was not an abuse of power. What? You're crazy. What, do you work for Fox News or something, you freak? And while we're on the topic, by the way, the last several presidents, Bush, Obama, and yes, being honest now, Trump, have all overseen the growth of a brand new surveillance state, one aimed at you and me, American citizens. That was not an abuse of power. All those people have launched new wars abroad without bothering to ask Congress, in violation of the Constitution of the United States, which requires them to do so explicitly. Not an abuse of power. With every passing year, the presidency becomes a lot more like a monarchy. Not an abuse of power. In fact, no big deal. But ask about Hunter Biden's sleazy deal with the Ukrainians. That's it, pal. We're removing you from office. Now, the second article of impeachment, by the way, accuses the president of obstruction of Congress. The crime here, supposedly, is declining to comply with congressional subpoenas. Subpoenas, by the way, like the ones of the phone companies that got people's phone records last week. We saw those. But subpoenas related to the impeachment process. Now, if you don't live in Washington, you may not know that neither party actually takes this seriously. Both parties know it's not a reason to impeach. President Clinton resisted subpoenas consistently, constantly during his impeachment saga 21 years ago. Nobody remembers that. Nobody would care if they did remember it, so we'll spare you any long explanation of it, but it happened. Come on, none of this is about actual high crimes and misdemeanors. They're not even trying to make that case. Why is this happening? You know why. Two reasons. First, Democrats, at least their troops on Twitter, still haven't accepted the defeat of 2016. They think impeachment would nullify that shocking loss, like it never happened, and allow them to ignore every lesson that came with that election. The lessons that both our parties needed to learn but didn't, and have no interest in learning. They can continue to ignore those because Trump was impeached. He was an anomaly. Some weird orange guy showed up for a few years, but we kicked him out. We don't need to think about why voters would have supported him in the first place. But the other reason is looking to the future. Some Democrats, and they're not all dumb, that's for sure, some of them sincerely believe that impeachment will help their case in the 2020 elections. It'll unify their base, it'll demoralize the opposition, the Republicans, it'll humiliate the president, it'll improve their chances of winning the presidential election. Are they right about that? We don't really know. But we do know that as of tonight, polling suggests maybe it's not that simple. So for example, every 3 months, Firehouse Strategies here in Washington has been polling voters in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Those are, of course, the 3 critical swing states that made Trump president in 2016. In all the previous polls this year conducted by Firehouse, the president trailed Joe Biden in every one of those states. But in Firehouse's most recent poll, Trump is leading Biden and every other Democrat in all 3 states. Now, the economy is obviously roaring along, according to some measurements anyway, and that's clearly helping the president. But it does seem like at the very moment Trump is being impeached, his numbers should be going down, and they're not. They're going up. So it's possible that instead of securing victory in 2020, these impeachment efforts could be leading the Democrats into a catastrophe. And why wouldn't that be the case? Because when you strip away all the analysis, here's the bottom line. Polls show consistently that for most voters, the ones who aren't on Twitter full-time, impeaching a president is not even close to the top of their list of priorities. They care about the things you would expect them to care about, the things that you care about, no matter what party you're registered with. Healthcare, wages, student loan debt, which really is wrecking the country, crime, which is real and rising, the border, which is open, it's not even a border anymore, and just about every other issue that's not impeachment. And that shouldn't surprise you because those issues actually affect people. Even more, brace yourselves now, even more than internal Ukrainian politics. So every day that Democrats continue to focus all of their energy and all of our attention here in the media on impeachment, they're also sending a signal to voters that's pretty clear. And it's, we don't care what you think. And that's not a winning message over time. For more and deeper analysis